we're going to have a fight over Clay because there's no way people are treating him like trash out here in the streets. Let's start from the first misstep of Clay. All right, the first misstep of Clay, according to commentators online, is that Clay was asking what AD looked like.
My ego is very huge, like, and it's been a pro and it also been a con for me. My worst fear is like we fall in love, we have this beautiful connection. It's like, you know, like love is blind. Like, I get it, trust me, I get it. Kind of lean towards more like petite. My favorite attribute is like lips, butt, and all that stuff. If I'm gonna propose, that's something I need to know.
Regardless of the emotional.
Let's be for real right now. There are two other women who did that, and y'all seem to be very cool with that because Chelsea did it. Megan Fox did it. Brittany also did it. Brittany also they did it in a different way. Like, what celebrity do you look like? Or I think you look like this. And y'all seem to be cool with it. But when it came to Clay, y'all didn't seem to be cool with it. I think he was starting to see that, like, hey, this shit could be serious. Like, I rock with this girl. It could be a thing. Like, it really could be a thing. And I think he was having such an authentic conversation at that point that the authenticity led him to tell the truth about how he feels. And that is, if you don't look good enough for me, we're not getting married. And that truth has been true for all 6 seasons. I haven't watched all 6 seasons. I've only watched 4, 5, and 6. The reality is, I bet there are couples who break up all the time because they don't like the way the other person looks. And he was like, let's not even do this. Let's be clear about this shit. Because, like, I feel like we go together, but let's be real. Like, if this doesn't go my way, like, if you don't look the way I want you to look, then it's not going to go far. Because Jeremy left Chelsea because she didn't look like Megan Fox. Let's be real. If Chelsea looked like Megan Fox, he would have supported all her tantrums and all. He would have supported all her tantrums and all her emotional manipulation and all her fake crying and shit. He would have supported if she looked like Megan Fox. Hell, if she just looked like Jess, he would have been cool with it. Y'all need to look at the double standard here. The second scene that involved Clay, which seemed to blow motherfuckers' mind, the second scene was when he reacted to AD telling him about Matthew.
I formed a connection with someone else. And in that process, he had formed a connection with someone else. And he was like, oh, if I do propose to you, like, I would want to ask for his hand.
Are you not feeling me or you are? Because what you just told me has nothing to do with me. Matthew? Oh my fucking God. Okay. You gonna regret that shit. I'm telling you, like, 80, like, it's like my ego is like fucking with me so hard, but I'm really trying to be very understanding and work with you on this. It doesn't make me feel good.
Let me set the scene for y'all, in case you didn't watch it. He is coming to the pods to talk to the woman who he's going with. He's feeling like their emotional connection is strong. She walks in, and somewhere in the middle of what seems to me to be a good conversation, an emotional conversation between two people who are eventually thinking about getting married to each other, AD decides to tell him about how badly she feels about another guy who she really likes. Bitch, what? I want you to imagine for one fucking second, to all the female commentators of Love is Blind, imagine you are the one sitting in that pod and a guy walks in and tells you, I feel so bad today because of something that happened with this other girl that I really like. The best people will try to act like it didn't affect them. The most real people would be like, what the fuck? Like, are we in this together? And that's the way Clay reacted. And the beauty about the way his reaction is he had an apology for the reaction within the reaction itself. He was like, this is fucking with my head. This is messed up because I thought we were really going together. And I am apologizing in advance for being so distressed by the information that you just gave me, but I don't feel good about this shit. No fucking body would feel good about this shit. Nobody would feel good about that. All right? Some people will pretend like they don't care. But the real ones will be like, this is kind of wild that, like, and to be honest, this could have been an attempt from AD to see if Clay really cared about her. But the fact that he apologized for that shit is crazy. The number of times in this show that guys apologize for shit that they didn't cause is crazy. Like, even when Jeremy went and apologized for the bin dip situation to Laura that he didn't cause. Because Laura was at fault of the whole fucking thing. After that interaction with AD, we see him crying. And I'm not gonna lie, that reminded me of Marshall sliding down the wall in season 4.
I got these walls up. Everybody got this perception.
How did you?
And I'm just like, when you told me the name, I'm just like complete, just shocked.
I know. I was super weak.
Yeah.
And like super vulnerable, and I don't feel like I was met with like compassion. I don't respond well to like being yelled at.
If I did make you feel like that, I do apologize.
I'm not getting down on one knee. I'm not moving forward if I don't feel confident in your looks.
I did say that. If I'm wrong, I'll definitely admit that I'm wrong. But I just want to let you know I'm always going to fight for you, and I have strong feelings for you.
And the sad part is, that's kind of the bar for black men on television. You can't show as much vulnerability as others. Luckily, I feel like people handled that pretty well. Begrudgingly, I feel like people didn't want to give him the credit for being real emotional and vulnerable in that show, but they felt like they had to because they spent their time blaming men for not being vulnerable. So he was vulnerable. I did think he looked stupid, but but good for him, you know? The ability to cry on TV. Like, look, I will cry. I am a crier. I know how to cry, but I will not cry on TV. No. But that was handled pretty well. But that also shows you that Clay was emotionally invested in this show. He was battling with the whole idea of the show the whole time. He was battling with the idea of love is being blind, which any normal person fucking should. Because he was wondering if this emotional connection would be enough for him when he saw the physique of the person he was having the emotional connection with. And any normal person, any reasonable, intelligent person should be doubting whether love is truly blind even if they're in an experiment called Love is Blind. It's called an experiment for a reason. You don't go in it totally convinced. No reasonable person should go in this shit totally convinced. You're dumb if you think love is blind. You're stupid. You're not stupid. You're just maybe naive. Now, Clay seems to have a lot of fears of him cheating, which, you should see a therapist about that. Even I was like, wow, damn, you talk about cheating a lot, and you literally just got into this relationship.
It's like the biggest thing is that you're gonna cheat.
I don't want to be in a situation where I'm ever going to cheat. I think there's a lot of things that way I think that I don't think is mature enough for a marriage. Why, to me, is the date so, I don't know. I just feel like love is love. Like, why does the date have to dictate our relationship?
Unfortunately, I'm not okay with just being a long-term fiance. I don't think I could continue to date you after if it's
a no.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
If that's really your biggest fear in a relationship, then why not talk about it? And even if you have had therapy, that doesn't mean that you stop talking about the things that scare you and the fears that you have regarding your relationship. In the real relationship, if a guy really is afraid of cheating, the good step is to tell the person that this is a big fear. And to be honest, a lot of the times when Clay was talking about the whole cheating situation and the fact that all his role models have cheated, that came because of a question from AD. So he didn't just randomly start talking about him cheating, possibly cheating. A question from the way I saw it, the question was asked about what your biggest fear, what do you think could ruin this relationship? And he was like, possibly me. Look, another fake guy like me would probably have lied and found some other shit to say about what could have caused the end of that relationship. But someone who was really 100% invested in the experiment would tell you the truth. And so it makes perfect sense that he said no at the altar. He said no because he was invested in this experiment, and to him it wasn't conclusive. He gave AD so many fucking clues as to how he was tussling with this idea of rushing to the altar. He told her, I don't know if I like this. He gave you so many clues and so many exit avenues for you to run if you wanted to run. And that's what everyone should want. You want someone to lay it out there. And then if you want to run. If you want to stay. But if you're imagining that someone's going to lay it out there and it's all going to be beautiful, pink, and rosy. All right. So he laid it all out there, put out all his fears, and even gave her hints as to the fact that he was going to say no. And to me, it seemed like she was like, sure, I'll take the risk. I'm not going to lie. There was a point where I was wondering if she was trying to play the not victim card, but the wounded card to pursue her continued exposure, which, to be honest, it could play very well in her favor. The fact that she was the wounded bird and she's all heartbroken, okay, that could help get you to another show. Hell, isn't that what Trevor did to get onto Perfect Match? Maybe AD wanted to do the same thing. Because she had all the clues as to the fact that he was going to say no. And let's stop being mad about the fact that Clay D kept saying that he loves the fact that even though he exposed all his flaws, she still supports him. Did AD ever complain about him not giving her compliments about her? No. So why are you complaining? Are you in the relationship? Clearly, she was satisfied with whatever was happening. So if you are not satisfied, make sure you don't find that in your next boyfriend. The only thing I have to say about Johnny is, bro, just get a condom and chill out. Like, you're doing way too much about this. Oh, I'm so scared of like having a baby on Love is Blind right now. Like, calm down. Like, if y'all don't have any issues, don't get any issues. I guess you wanted to have your airtime, which brings me back to the point about everyone being here for the exposure. So they had to make up some story about like what conflict they were having, and the only thing they could find was regarding that contraception shit. Y'all want to tell me y'all didn't fuck the whole time? Are you allergic to latex or something? Are you allergic to condoms? Like, what is your thing? I know it's not 100% effective, but bro, if you don't want her to, if you don't want to wear condoms, why are you forcing her to take the pill? Anyway, I'm supposed to be here on defense of the men. So it's just like that whole couple was boring to me. Amy had this whole thing about her only dating ethnic men, and I think it was related to the point that she made about her dad not being accepting of the men that she's dated before, because the dad seemed very accepting of the white man that walked in. I'm not making it all about race. I'm just saying the correlation seems to correlate. Because I didn't see a dad who was ever hesitant about a boyfriend. And if a boyfriend comes in the context of a weird show, if you were ever as hesitant, this is the time to be hesitant. But he was not. And the fact that you said you only dated ethnic men, I don't know if you wanted to say black, and that was just hard to say, but I guess there are other ethnic people who are not black. But yeah, there was a correlation there. But Johnny got nothing bad. I think the only thing about Johnny is him and Emmy was trying to make up a story about them having a conflict because they wanted your exposure. Good for them. But like, we could have went without this. All right. We're not here to find. We're not here because we want to believe that true love exists within this experiment. We're here for the drama and for the TV. Give us the TV. If shit is boring, cut it out. I heard there were other couples. Couldn't you have put them there? Like, didn't they have more interesting conflicts than not using condoms? I don't know. Anyway, let's get to the masterpiece, the male masterpiece of this show. The male masterpiece of this show is Jeremy. Ooh, and Jeremy did some shit.